Spiritual awakening can take place from any chakra and cascade to all other chakras in time. So, how does this work? Follow me here. This is a very, very interesting download I received just recently. So, how does the recalibration of different chakras work in the shifting energy? And how is this shift very unique compared to all other shift which happened in paradigms and in humanity in the past on Earth? So first, let's examine the chakras. As Kundalini starts moving and acting in your head, it gives you more clarity, more intuition, more downloads, more activations in that area, more creativity, more ideas. It's working here now. It can work in any and all of the centers simultaneously more of the time. As it is starting to act in your throat, it activates more voice, more clarity in speech, more clear speak. You be able to express more freely. Communication, free expression of ideas and emotions, because the throat chakra connects the heart and the head. As it is starting to move in your heart, it creates more transparency in heart connection, less biases, okay, less judgment and more love. You can't have both acting simultaneously. Less separation and more of unity consciousness. It's like flipping a coin over from being all in the self to all being with others all the time. As it is starting to move in your belly area, it becomes a more centered identity. Belly is the identity center. Finding your unique identity in the collective, being who you are within the collective humanity, not losing yourself in the collective. Very important. Bringing more creativity, more connection, more love, more romance. Fifth center is all about that. And the earth itself. So you're trying to establish your uniqueness in the whole 7 billion people. That'll happen more as it moves more in your belly area. As it starts to move more in your sacral area, you create more heightened sexual experiences. What does it mean to have more heightened sexual experiences? It basically means you become more sensory. All five senses are wide open now for you. So you feel more, you can smell more acutely, you can taste more acutely, you hear things when their people are speaking much more than the words. You hear their feelings, you hear their emotional content, you hear where they are coming from. That becomes very strong and very centered in your identity. As it is starting to move in your root chakra level, it creates and brings awareness of all insecurities. Because the eighth center, the eighth house, even in astrology, is all about security, your sense of safety and security in your circumstances, personal circumstances. It is relating to living as a being on earth. Your money, your circumstances, who you feel safe with, or where you feel safe or unsafe. All this comes to the forefront for you to feel, see, feel, acknowledge. Only then that we can move past that. That's how it happens. But what is unprecedented in this shift, and I'll leave you with this, which has never happened before on Earth, is the Kundalini of the planet has shifted to the southern hemisphere of the Earth. So it changes the very paradigm of awakening itself. So how humanity will perceive, integrate this as we go forward is something to be seen. It is going to change the game. Why? Because first the lower chakras are recalibrating. First the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the identity chakra. First these three earth-based chakras are recalibrating. Okay. So we start from there now and go forward up. So you will not just be living in a conceptual state of spiritual awakening. You will do it right from the ground up. We all, with all of us, each and every one of us. Meaning all souls will first start re-examining and shifting all earthly aspects and change them first. So all physical reality aspects like home, like family, like security, like money, like identity will shift first, which will in turn have effects on the upper chakras and how you create new structures of society, new structures of life, new structures of civilization, new structures of institutions. Everything, it shifts everything when we go upward. So this is what is unique, and this is how it came to me. Since the Kundalini of the planet itself has shifted downwards, that means we are working from down up, from the ground up. Okay, all of us. This is applicable to individuals and humanity. Changing the form and function first. This is how it came to me. Then moving on to ideas and concepts. Form and function is down. Ideas and concepts are up. Brings about a different flavor of awakening. What humanity is really about. How can we rebuild a better society for humanity everywhere? This has never happened before. So get ready for a very, very wild ride, okay? Take care. Be safe and have a great day. Good morning, children of new consciousness. Welcome to the Progressive. Today, I just wanted to share with you quickly about life force or life energy. Energy is a better word. Force seems something like forceful, like something which is imposed on you. No, it isn't. Okay, something about life force and how you can use it or how you can tune into the life force itself as an energy, the life energy within all things, within all the earth, within all the things living and breathing on it, within you, within yourselves. How to tune in on this? Because this is very important to understand. If you don't know the essential component of life force itself, you will not know how to tune in on it. And you will need to tune in on it on a regular basis on your daily routines, work, study, whatever it is that you desire to do in life. First of all, life is desire itself. It desires to just be, to express, to go out there and play. Life energy is very soft. Understand this. Tune into this energy. Life energy is very soft. It is very supple. It is very malleable. It is very opulent. It desires opulence. It desires abundance. It is very open. It is very vulnerable. It is open, vulnerable, intimate, and penetrating. It penetrates everything and everyone, including what you call as inanimate objects. So the life energy is a flow in all things, all around you. So if you need to tune in on life, and you will need to do this whenever you're feeling dull, bored, switched off, kind of, and everything seems dry. Everything seems boring and dry. What we call boring and dry is nothing but that absence which we feel of life energy itself. Probably because you're blocking it. You can't block life force. That's when it feels dead. That's when it feels dry. Life seems meaningless. All these kinds of feelings arise when you're blocking your life force. The essential energy of life energy is about flow. First of all, you got to be in the flow of whatever it is that you want to do. If you're in the flow, this thing appears naturally. Life energy appears naturally. It is very natural to you. It's not something which is imposed upon you. You feel part of the river of life. You feel part of whatever you want to create or enjoy as. Life energy is enjoyment itself. Life energy is, like I said, soft. It's very soft. It's very supple. It is not a hardened form or crystallized form of consciousness. It is very smooth and very flowing kind of energy. If you want to tune in on life, your own life energy, try to be soft, open, vulnerable. Life is very vulnerable. It is always inviting. It is always open and inviting to you to participate with it. It wants to do things with you, for you. It wants to gift you. It is an abundant, infinite and eternal energy ever present. It is always present. It is always available. There's never a time in any of your lives, in any of the days, weeks, hours, months, seconds, or in a day of your life that life energy is absent. The only thing that can be absent or you feel as absent is the connection to it. And this is where even life energy offers an option. You can tune in on it and you can feel it as a part of oneness of all that is. You can feel connected to people, connected to your work, connected to nature, connected to Food, connected to drink, connected to friends. Connectivity is the thread of life itself. Life energy desires to connect with everything. It desires connection. It desires connection points in life. Wherever you try to hunt for it, your job, if you want to call it that, is only to find and search for this connection personally to you that makes sense to you. This is a kind of form of exploration. Don't think of it as work. Think of it as your explorers of this life energy and what you can create as an experience for yourself in this life. And it can change. It can continuously change. And it does change through life. It does change through your years. It does change through your aging. It changes with your maturity, what you experience in life. It can be any number of things, but tune into this life force as a supple, soft, and malleable. What do I mean by malleable? It is moldable. It is continuously changing in form, fashion, and flows wherever it desires to flow. It cannot be held in a container. It's like a flow of a river. It cannot be held anywhere. It will find cracks and crevices to flow through. This is the very nature of life energy. This is the nature of how it flows inside your body as your life, as you are a living being, and through everything, even through atoms, even through the molecules, even through the earth. So it goes at a very fundamental level of all things. That's life energy. You want to tune in into this life energy if you want to experience that sense of flow. I'm in my mojo, or I'm in my flow. I'm in my joy, following my bliss. For today, everything is not absolute, just for today. Just try to find day to day that flow, that lightness. Life has a lightness to it. It is not heavy in nature, the life energy that you have. So wherever you feel lightness of things, move towards that for that particular day. Move towards your lightness inside you, inside your mind, inside your emotional body. Ask for it if you're really puzzled. Where is the lightness today? Where is my lightness for me today? Where do I desire to go? What would feel light to me today? Because the energy is changing so fast on the planet that you need to move with it day to day. It's like a fast moving river. Think of it as a fast moving river. If a rafter is going on a fast moving river, all they do, all that he or she does is navigating with the currents. You can't fight those currents. The currents are very strong of this river right now, this river of life flowing everywhere. You need to be able to tune in on a day to day basis, move with it. Tune in and move with it. This is the only quote unquote task you have in front of you. The only task or only job for you is to tune into this life and let that be your guiding force. Let that be your guiding light. Let that take you wherever it wants to take you. It may be a certain thought, feeling, emotion, or activity for a particular day. You got to learn to move with this. It may guide you to certain places, situations. It may guide you to certain ways of being, doing, or acting. Not necessarily the moods. I'm talking about you consciously engaging with it. Don't try to get moody about it. Moodiness is of the moon. Okay. Life energy is more of a conscious feeling energy. Life energy will feel all these things which I spoke about. You got to tune in on this kind of a life energy that exists. And when you do, what you will observe is that you will have a sense of peace. First thing it provides you as a sense of peace as you are aligned with the peace itself. It's a peaceful energy. At the same time, it can feel wild and exciting. This is the two paradoxes which people don't understand. If you're looking for joy and you're looking for peace and you're looking for exuberant abundance and ecstasy, these are all the same life force. It has just different ways it shows up in your life. These are different ways it can show up for you. You will feel any number of these things if you are in tune with that life force, that life energy. And why is this so crucial for you? Because the energies of the planet are shifting like that. It's very dynamic. It's very, very in the moment. You got to be in the moment, in your flow, to really find that happiness for you personally in your life. It's important that you recognize this. I'm just sharing this energy. You can replay this anytime you want. This is the life force you want to tune in on. It will feel like all of these things. It will not feel like anything dead, dry, and like a work to do. It's not a job. Life is not a job or a work or a career. Life is a very present, very flowing, very dynamic energy. If you want dynamism to flow within you, you got to take this perspective into consideration. You got to try to tune in on this. You got to look for these things as the qualities of life energy itself that's flowing in you. That's the one that's breathing. That's the one that's thinking. That's the one that gives you signals as your moodiness, as the loss of thought or loss of presence. You're just drifting through life. So all of these feelings, your life energy is giving to you, signaling to you basically that you're not with me. If you're with me, you will flow with it and you will accept it and you will move forward with it. Not accept it in the form of like a dictatorship or something. Accept it more like, yes, I recognize you as I'm one with you. Yes, I recognize that I need to be this way. It feels like a deep, heart centered assurance. You don't need anybody else's validation for it. You don't need to take permission for life. Life doesn't require any permission. It is freely always available to all to access anytime. Think of it as that one more quality. Life is not looking for permission. It never is. It is independent energy in the universe all by itself. It's very supremely free. The most supreme freedom and sovereignty that you can find is in life energy itself. Tune in on this. Tune in and use this thing as the basis of guiding yourself. Am I feeling light today? Am I feeling like free and flowing? Is my creativity, thoughts, and all aligned? Do I feel aligned with something, whatever it is that I want to accomplish today? That's important to understand. You need to be feeling aligned. You need to be feeling in the moment. You need to be feeling absolutely as joyful and as wild and as free as you can possibly be. That energy, that feeling is what you got to look for in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. And it's not necessarily accomplishing a goal or a task. That becomes dry. See, you got to follow this thread, whatever I'm speaking here, as an energetic thread. It's an energetic thread. You're going for the feeling, sensing part of it, not so much the emotion, although that's involved as a sensation, as a way to accomplish things, but not as a goal. You got to start dissolving the idea of goals and endpoints because the endpoint may be constantly shifting. It is taking you in the direction of your own joy and your own becoming. You're constantly becoming something else through life, through hours, days, weeks, months, and years of your life. You got to be in that flow. Think of it as a flow that cannot be stopped by anything, a flow that is unencumbered by any weight or any kind of block or any kind of structure. Life does not have structures. Life has only flow. It can flow through a structure, but it cannot become the structure. You cannot concretize it. You cannot make it solid because life is that kind of a river of flow. You got to move with the flow. This is where all your joy will come in from. It will not come in from the things you're trying to accomplish. There's nothing in life. There is no thing in life. It's just a flow. So you got to be part of it. Make it yourself. Make it part of your being and part of the way you function in life. Yes, you can make life energy the way you function. How do I function every day? Well, if someone asks you that, you say, I function as life itself because this is all what life is about. Okay? Take care, be safe, be awesome wherever you are. Bye bye. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to the Progressive. Today I'm going to talk of free talk, a little bit of free talk about what's going on in the internet world, in the social media world, in the YouTube world. And this is more of a word of caution to all you people watching this, to all the young people everywhere, because I translate all the videos in more than 15 languages. Okay. So you can see it even in the subtitles and understand this clearly, what's going on. It's become a time now, currently, in the time we are living in. This is in 2022 and going to 2023, 2024, and so on. It's increasingly becoming a time for each and every individual human being to separate things between sense and nonsense. Okay? Those two words, sense and nonsense. And what you have got to use here will be your own personal discernment, not what you have learned through whatever education systems, your universities, your college degrees, and so on, but your personal discernment. It's about personally thinking, there's a discernment engine we are all gifted with as human beings. The personal discernment engine which has to be used here to separate things between sense and nonsense. There is too much of the latter going on, too much of the latter, too much of nonsense going on, too much of marketing going on, too much of show off on YouTube, too much of show off on Instagram, too much of show off on everywhere, too much of over dramatization of news of every kind. As if there is only bad stuff going on in the world and there are no good people doing good things. There's less of good news and more of bad news everywhere floating around. You got to be careful of that. You got to use your own discernment engine and not buy into what your social circles, your family, your friends are talking about. Be very careful of that. Too much of marketing, too much of showing off things the way they are supposed to look like, but they are not actually that way. They don't carry the weight, that weight of truth. The weight should be of truth above all things. And the best way you can learn this is from the nature. Look at nature. Everything in nature. For example, one of the things I want to speak about is the earth itself. The earth is the resource shared by all of us in terms of oil and gas, in terms of food, in terms of water, in terms of sustainability, in terms of things we used to build our homes with, etc., etc. The earth has always been plentiful. Let nobody tell you it's a shortage. And even what I am speaking of, use discernment. Has there been ever a shortage? All the plants, trees, birds, seas, oceans, mountains, rivers, everything existing collectively together for 4 billion years, since much before the humans were here creating their own little drama. It's always been there. Nature always talks in terms of one to many. You plant one apple seed, you get a tree, look after it till it becomes a tree, and then it will continue to dish out apples for the length of the life of the plant. It doesn't give one apple to you, it gives many apples. Nature talks in terms of one to many. That's why you see the multiplication, the life of Earth itself. Earth is a living being. Earth is not a dead entity. Nothing dead can give birth to a living entity. It's not the principle of life. Life always wants to give more and more to you. It wants to gift more and more to you. This is the basic principle outlined in every faith around the world. You just look at your own faith, whatever your faith is, doesn't matter. But this is the highlight of it. It's always plenty. That's number one. There is no shortage. There's no shortage of land. There's no shortage of water. There's no shortage of any kind of resource whatsoever. Scarcity is where? It's in the human being. The sense of scarcity or something getting scarce, let it be water or this or that, is not there actually as a fact. It's only there in the human mind. So be careful whether you want to buy that concept or not. What you want to believe and what you don't want to believe should be in your own personal discernment. That's one of the things. Second thing, who you are and who you are not, like in spirituality, right? In all the spiritual circles, everything is touted as the soul, as the encapsulated form of individuality as the soul. Well, if oneness is all there is, and the soul is encapsulated form, then what are you trying to achieve? It's just expansion, what we talk of in the New Human Being Model series. We talk of expansion. You're here to expand. So, expansion in every way feels like all the good things which human beings are about. It's about compassion, it's about love, it's about understanding, knowledge, balance, and beauty. The six parts of the human being we speak of in this channel. You can look up the other videos, you will find stuff on that. So, love, compassion, beauty, and all the things is all the good things that we seek outside ourselves because it's our essential nature. That's what we want to reflect from our brothers and sisters all around the world, the society, the nature, with all the creatures of the earth, the plants and animals and birds. So our ancients knew how to work with this better than we do. Unfortunately, we have all the tech like this, technology to spread information. But what kind of information is floating out there right now? Be careful of what you buy. This is my caution to all of you guys out there, whoever cares to watch this, right? Be cautious of what you want to buy as the truth. Just because somebody is saying something with a fancy picture or with the authority or with promising you things, there's one more thing that's going on, promising things. We'll get to that. But just because somebody is saying something doesn't mean it becomes the truth. The truth is not about presentation or marketing. The truth stands by itself. It does not require anybody's endorsement of it. Okay. So don't buy definitely endorsements or too much of marketing going around. My goodness, this whole thing started in 2020. The amount of marketing that is going on in every single thing is enormous. We understand people are desperate because economies are not doing that well around the world. People are without jobs, without businesses. Businesses are crashing. People are having trouble with the education systems, etc. So I understand where it comes from, but this is more of a caution to you to use your discernment more and more each day in whatever you perceive is going around the world. Don't come into the thing of mass hypnotism of some kind. People are getting hypnotized by all kinds of fancy stuff. It's not necessarily fancy stuff that is important to the human being. Love, compassion, understanding, beauty are important stuff for every human being because that's what the human being is about. So we got to really carefully evaluate what we are doing here and what is the purpose of this whole thing. The purpose of this whole thing, if you see my collaborative education and research series, you know, the whole thing is to work around the earth. If we work together with the earth, together with all countries, together with all cultures, all faiths, and put together a system which will work in harmony with everything, there's nothing we cannot achieve. We don't have shortage of anything. Earth is never about shortage or scarcity or lack of this and that. It is not without plenty. There is lots of plentiful stuff to go around for everyone to feed for hundreds of thousands of generations. The concept of wealth as created by some institutions and by some people, if you want to call it that, is just to make it look like as if we have scarcity, make it look like as if we have to live in fear. Fear is the motivation which is being right across the board motivated in all platforms, is to be afraid of this and that, afraid of whatever is going on right now. You don't have to be afraid of anything. So just be careful of what you buy and how you take this and where what things really matter to you, what things really don't matter to you, how you want to proceed with your life, rest of your life. Learn something today, expand on something, create something. If you want to regenerate and feel like sleeping or feel like just watching a Netflix movie or something, go for that. But be careful what you buy as the truth, because truth is already very obvious. Just look out of your window into a tree or a bird, or look at a baby which the mother is carrying. That's the simple truth. So be careful of what you buy as truth, because there's a lot of propaganda going on, fear propaganda going on about be careful of this and that. Lots of things. You know what I mean. You're getting it in your feeds all the time. So just be very careful of that. And I'll leave you with this message. Have a good one and be safe wherever you are. Morning, boys and girls. Welcome to the Progressive. Just wanted to speak to you today about your choices in life and how to access and grow from your own individuality, your own individual self, the light of your individual self, rather than whatever you have been brought up with as your family, your culture, your society, wherever you live in. How to go beyond this? Well, there are a couple of blocks that you might immediately face, which I want you to be very keenly aware of. Pay attention to this because it will be vital in determining your course and what you end up doing as a result. First of all, you have to ditch the idea of role models. The earlier, older energy used to work in the form of role models. Role models in society, maybe heroic figures in the politics or in government, or it might be actors in movie, in cinema, or it might be famous people, known people. It might be even Einstein. It might be your favorite scientist or your favorite person in your life, your uncles, your aunts, whoever you consider your role models. Be careful of taking that on too much. Uh, Personally, I would suggest don't take on any of it. But as you grow up, you're kind of influenced by all these people that are role models, or you take them on role models in your life. I want to become like this person. I want to become like that actor, or I want to achieve that level of success, or I want to have their lifestyle, or their money, or their success, and so on and so forth. It can go on. The whole list can go on. And this keeps changing. Your concept of role models keeps shifting and changing throughout life anyway. As you grow and mature, you will shift your role models. But going from one role model to another role model seriously defeats your own uniqueness. Why do I say this? Well, if you keep taking on role models kind of working and being in the world, or playing and creatively engaging in the world, you are taking an already established idea, an already established way of being of some other person, and copying it and pasting onto your life. Well, that straight away, as you can see, defeats your uniqueness there. What are you bringing to the table? As the unique human being among 7 billion people, you're very unique. There'll be never a repetition of you. And you are here trying to kind of spend time and your energy in just copying somebody else's theme of life or what they are trying to achieve or how they are doing it, in fact. That's more critical. How are they going about it? What is their style? What kind of things do they do? What is their body language? What kind of language or diction they use? All of these things you take on unconsciously because the human mind and the human energy field is like a sponge. It kind of takes on everything else which is around it. The more you tune yourself to one person or a whole set of people, even if it will be in your friend circle in the earlier years, you'll kind of tend to take on them as I want to be like this person or be like that person. Be very careful about doing that. You might want to see that thing as good or this kind of person as good, and that's it. Don't take it as role models because you end up taking their energy field. Your goal, if at all you want to call it that, it should be to access your uniqueness, not take on the concept of role models. as an external factor. Why? Because the energies on the planet have shifted now. It's no longer about copying other styles of living or other styles of doing and living and working and being. It's about you bringing your own unique talents to the table. You have unique talents. If you say, I do not have any unique talents, well, it's because I suggest that you might not have spent enough time accessing that. You need to spend time with yourself, with your own being, sit with it, reflect on it, sit silently and reflect on it. What might I bring which is unique? And access that uniqueness above all things. Be careful of all kinds of programming. People say you should be like this, you should be like that, or you should become such and such a profession or professional, or you should be talented in this and that. People can give suggestions. There's nothing wrong with people giving suggestions. But you taking it on as, yes, I have to do this, yes, I can become this, may not be always the correct path for you. And this is why I suggest even going to a good Vedic astrologer and checking out where you shine, where you belong, kind of working with them one on one. It's not just important to get a reading on anything, it's important to work with them and understand where this is going. If you are the captain of your own ship, if you're the captain of your own ship of life, and where you are taking your life as, think of your life as a boat, as a ship, and you are in charge of it. You are the captain. You have to steer your own boat in a particular direction. How are you ever going to achieve that level of satisfaction? Because that's where satisfaction and contentment really lie for anyone. It's in steering your own course of life. And if you're taking the advice of the captain of another ship, that this is where you should go, this is how you should be doing it, then you're taking the boat of your life in the same direction as that captain was headed. You will not discover new territories of life. You will not discover new lands, new ways of being. And this new energy on the planet since 2012 and onwards is promoting uniqueness above all. You got to work with the collective. You got to work with all the people in your generation. Yes. And you automatically have that in you already. Yes. You have creativity, you have compassion, you have this by default, and you work very well with your teammates. But remember, you are here to bring your own unique flavor to the collective. You're not here to just take on everybody else's flavor, because this kind of approach of taking on other people's energy is going to very quickly make you feel inside. You feel dead inside. You don't feel that you are bringing anything else. You need to bring something of your own uniqueness. That should be your goal or your focus in life every single day. Where is my uniqueness today? Where do I bring this person that I am and whatever this new day is bringing in my life, and how do I go from there? That should be your focus, because in accessing your uniqueness, you'll feel the thrill of life. You'll feel the joy of life. You'll feel the joy of being alive. You'll feel a sense of aliveness as you try to uncover your own truths. And there can be number of truths. You can do number of things. Let nobody tell you that you can do one thing and you're here for that one thing. That would be really unwise. You are not here to do one thing. You are here to do 50 different things all at once, or change it every other day. But you got to keep up your barometer as the thrill of life. Are you getting the thrill out of life? Are you getting the excitement and the joy out of your own creations? That will be the sign that your body will give you. Your body will tell you whether you're finding thrill, you're finding action. Your brain will generate juices. You will find more creativity like springing forth from inside your body, and you will want to carry that out. For what? Not for generally changing the society or changing this or that, but generally feeling the thrill of life. You got to work from the place of thrill and excitement, because those are the things that your soul is bringing forward to you for you to see and work with and enjoy with. So this is where work and play kind of become blended in your life. If you start working this way without any role models, without anything, just think of them as all are humans as equally as you were, which is a fact. Every single human, doesn't matter which guru it is or which teacher it is or what role model you take on, they are all just equally as human as you are. They have just decided to chart their own course and get the thrill out of whatever they are doing or whatever they ended up believing in. Be careful of beliefs. Be careful of taking on anything as I believe so and so, I believe so and so. Beliefs are just your thought structures which are fixed in nature. You want to take comfort in them. Those are your comfort zones. Every single time a human being takes on beliefs, remember this, it is going to be shattered. Your beliefs are not what you are here for. Your beliefs are not what your soul is come here to live as. Soul has nothing to do with belief. Life energy, as I spoke of in other podcasts, has nothing to do with beliefs, nothing to do with ideas, nothing to do with concrete structures of any kind. You are here as a flow of life. So you must learn to go with that flow. And one of the key things you've got to delete out of your brain is all these things that you have taken on as role models. Don't let anybody be your role model. You be your own role model. You try to outlive yourself every single day. You try to build upon your own stuff, what you created yesterday, and try to make them better. You're trying to always like rekindle your own internal fire, so to speak. You're rekindling your own fire of creativity. Creativity is like a fire in your belly. It needs to rise. It needs to shine by itself. It doesn't need permission of anybody for you to sit and shine wherever you are in your life. Your creative energy and your self expression and your self worth will come as a result of you trying to engage your own sense of self worth, your own innate sense of creativity, your own innate sense of well being. That's where well being comes from. That's where good health comes from. That's where your joy comes from. You trying to be able to ignite your own soul into complete manifestation, as in you're bringing from you to the outer world. If you are a piece of fire, a soul fire, all you're trying to do, or your soul is wanting you to achieve in this life, is to have that burn the brightest possible, in the most joyous way possible, in the most illuminating way possible. You're bringing that forth for everybody to see and for you to see and enjoy that. One of the things you need to remember whenever you start shining like this, you will attract a lot of people around you. You will attract radiance. You will attract connection. You will meet different kinds of people, maybe different to the ones you took on before. It's important for you to remember this because then this radiance will be magnetic. It will be attracting all kinds of people around you. And that's your sweet spot. That's your sweet spot. That's your energetic sweet spot. You need to be, work, and do from that kind of a spot in yourself because that'll feed you. That'll energetically feed you. It'll nurture your mind. It'll nurture your heart, and you'll feel alive and you'll be healthy. And that's how you need to live your life. This is the best way possible. On a daily basis, just to work with what is the greatest possibility for me today? What is the greatest point of existence that I can tap into today? Where is the lightness today? What feels light to me today? Light as opposed to heavy. Or let's try to ask questions in this direction. What makes me feel light? What would make me feel joyous, truly joyous? And because most of the time, the way we are brought up tends to cover it up in all kinds of you have to, like you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be responsible, you have to, the endless list of have to that we have in this culture and every other culture in human civilization, that covers up that light I spoke of, that covers up your internal fire. Essentially, if you want to access your internal fire, you've got to break out of all the family dramas. You've got to break out of all the relationships. You've got to break out of all the role models or roles that you take on. People take on roles and just become entrapped by them. Remember, roles are nothing but roles. Doesn't matter who you are. You might be called an engineer, doctor, lawyer, accountant, or something in profession, or you might be called a brother, a sister, a parent, a mother, a father in role. Those are just roles. They have nothing to do with who you are as a soul. As a soul, whatever you bring forth could be only that which you know to be uniquely you, that which ignites your fire, that which ignites the internal eyes that you have. Your internal eyes see everything very clearly. You need to access that level of clarity. That should be your target. Your own internal level of clarity and awareness, if you want to call it that, should be such that you don't need to ask another person. You will go beyond doubts that way. Going beyond doubts is what your working style, being style should be in this world. Because if you're going beyond doubts, then you're really going beyond anybody else's teaching or preaching, anybody else's learning or unlearning that might be offered to you. Lots of things will be offered to you by the way of education, by the way of being, how to be this and how to be that and how to achieve this and achieve that. Good ideas, but that's all they are. They're just ideas of other human beings. Your thrill and excitement is going to come from where? It's going to come from inside you. And that's what you're going to tap into. Using astrology, like Vedic astrology, is just a tool. Remember that. It's nothing more than a tool. You can have other forms of access as well, but spend time accessing this first. Do this as a first way of approaching yourself. Don't directly jump to things, some bandwagon of ideas or some bandwagon of choice of other people's roles and responsibilities and say, I want to do this or become this in my life. That would be a very unwise thing for you to do. I'll tell you that straight away. So think about this, reflect on this. And if you want to get in touch or see this podcast in your language, see the YouTube for subtitles. Take care. Be awesome. Wherever you are, shine and be awesome. Hi, everyone. Two things I wanted to speak to you quickly. 5 points about vulnerability and sensitivity. It is so important that I have seen, even with me personally and with all my friends, colleagues, people around me, light workers, sensitives, empaths, is the sense of vulnerability and sensitivity as you might tend to maintain it through life. See, everybody goes through life. Everybody goes through different age groups. Everybody goes through different phases of life, relationships, jobs, career, and education and whatnot, right? Everybody goes through life. It's a common factor which we all have from birth to death. But when it comes to vulnerability and sensitivity, people tend to lose it and very fast through skepticism, through cynicism, and so on. Now, what do I define here as vulnerability? What is vulnerability? Vulnerability is an ever widening sense of being very open and available. You, as a being, are you being open and available to everything that's going on around you? Your friends, family, everything that's going around you. In the world, maybe everything that's going around you. Are you open or are you blocking? Are you shutting it out? That's vulnerable versus non-vulnerable, right? And sensitivity, I'm defining here as a sense of being receptive, not blocking all senses. Your sense of awareness, inner awareness, all of us have, spiritual or non-spiritual, it doesn't really matter, right? We are talking about your sense of being aware all the time. Are you blocking it or are you available there? Are all your eyes and ears and sense of smell and everything very wide open? You need to be open. People tend to shut this off. They hear selectively. They hear only what they want to hear. They hear only what other person is agreeing or disagreeing. All these things being amplified by even social media. Do you like or dislike? Do you take the black and white approach, right? You either agree with me or disagree with me. So you're not listening, you're not available to the entire person or his or her energy field about how you're interacting with the person. It's just that simple. So I got 5 points here. What happens, number one, is you tend to lose them with age. Most people do. You can choose this consciously to be aware of this fact. Oh, I'm kind of losing my sensitivity or vulnerability here. I'm kind of blocking what is going on inside me or outside me. Because whatever your experience is going on inside you is changing as well as perception to the external world is changing now. So don't tend to lose it with age. Tend to maintain your own sense of vulnerability. Wherever it has grown to, it will grow to some other point. It'll always grow to some other points. Don't tend to lose it with age. That's number one. Number two, letting go of everything old is one big key to opening up to life. Sorry, my throat. So letting go of everything old is a big key. And this is hard, obviously, because there's an old sense of you personally, and there's an old sense of everything that's going around changing in the world also, which is going away, which is old. But we tend to, just being human, we are hanging on to stuff for the sense of security. Oh, I knew this person to be like this, or I knew this relationship was going to be nice. Why is it changing? Why is this person reacting to me like this now? Well, two things you have to consider there. Not only are you changing, they are also changing in their own ways. So there is no yardstick for the measurement of who is right and who is wrong in this whole game of shift. We're talking about the great shift here, which is going on. So there's no one rule, there's no one principle, there's no one way you can say, oh, yes, this is the way to measure it. There is nothing like that. So you can throw that out straight away. Number three, no one from your past, not this is a big one, no, not even your family, friends, is ever going to check or recognize your change and shift ever. They want to keep their sense of stability as it is. It is their way of keeping their own inner sense of stability and security. For them, knowing that you are just the same, such and such a person, oh, this is my brother or sister, this is always the same, this is always the way it is. Or an old friend from the past, oh, you are just like that, oh, this is what is happening. They will always try to connect you with the old self that they knew. And the old self of you that they knew will help them keep their stability or their sense of stability with respect to their world. So they are just being protective of themselves. It doesn't mean they're judging you or harming you in any way. No way. This is not the way things work. Everybody is trying to be self protective in this mode. So, your sense of being the same person for them is basically their way of keeping their world stable in an ever shifting world. Right? That's number three. It will always come back to who you are. It's my number four. It will always come back to who you are. Who you are, what you are doing now, and why you are doing it. These three questions we all tend to ask, whether spiritual or not, or whether you are aware or not, or sensitive or not. We would tend to be aware of this all the time. Each day as you wake up, these questions pop up. Why am I doing this thing again? Or why is this work important to me again? Or what do I want to prove to myself or to the other person or to my world again? These kinds of questions are always evolving in all of us as humans through life. So we are trying to basically change and move with the energy, ever changing tides of life. We are trying to move with it in a dynamic way, in a way that is relevant to each day, really. So each day you have to ask such questions. Each day you have to find new meanings. Okay, that's the purpose of where your life energy, your soul energy is trying to drive you towards. It is trying to drive you towards asking questions of who, what, where, why, who, why am I doing this? Why am I doing all this work? Why am I making so much of money? Or why am I not having such and such a relationship? Or what do I want to do next that is exciting? It will invariably seek, this is point number 5, your life energy will invariably seek the next highest vibration. I'm reading off my notes here. Something new, something exciting, for life shines in new and exciting. Why are we humans driven so much towards exciting stuff in life? Let it be a nice new piece of music, or a new piece of art, or a new piece of painting, or a new dish to create while cooking and eating, or a new place to travel, holiday, experience of holiday, vacation. I want to get away from this place. I want to go to another place. I want to see all these fancy resorts, beaches. I want to get this done. I want to get a massage done. Or I want to sing, dance, develop a new hobby. Why do we seek this? Because that's the element of life energy itself. You will always constantly seek new stuff. Let it be in any kind of area, it doesn't matter, but the new has to be there. We seek the new, we seek the exciting, for life itself shines in the new and exciting. Life is always fresh. If you have ever observed nature, plants, blooming, leaves, it is always forever fresh. Life is in freshness. Life does not reside much in stability. It resides in dynamic movement. It just wants to constantly move, constantly be fresh, constantly be available, be open, be vulnerable. It's always there. It's always moving. So understanding this aspect of life, probably, I hope, will help you to understand that you need to be available, open, fresh, and looking forward to life each day as you wake up. From the time you wake up till the time you go to bed, if you're just open and vulnerable, and if you can retain that through age, retaining that through age, big challenge, big challenge. Because I've seen so many people lose it. So many people become hard and cynical through age. So many people becoming, well, very unavailable to life. They just think, oh, I've seen this plant grow. Oh, I've seen this bird. I've seen this guy. I've seen this weather. You're not in the moment. Life is happening in the moment, not past or future. That's just mind games. Mind loves to reside in the past. It knows only, it's like a tape player. It keeps on playing that past tape to the future. So unless you're creating something new or asking new kind of questions every day, this becomes a challenge. So I urge you all to try and experiment with this, to try and make new forms of creation with your own mind, play with your own mind. It's the tool you have, a very good tool, in fact. Play with the creativity because it helps you unlock your vulnerability, unlock this wide sense of being open and available all the time, wide sense of sensitivity as being receptive, not blocking of the five senses, taking everything that's going on, sight, sound, smells, taking everything. That is the secret to joy. Joy in the day, joy not in goals of career or life or any such thing. That's makes no sense at all. You can have those things, but they are like furniture in your life. They're just there. All these things are just there around you. You're not all the time connecting to the furniture in your room. It's just fancy when you bring it new. See, the new factor is always there when you think about life. It has to be fresh, it has to be available, it has to be new. And so have you. Okay. Take care. Be safe.